I have a hair in my face. All right, guys, we're about to get started. 1, 2, 3. Welcome to Sunday Assembly Los Angeles. I am Gina.
And I am Nicole.
And we will be your hosts for today's assembly.
We are a God-free community that celebrates a worldview grounded in evidence and reason.
And we want to invite you to join us to do your best to live better, help often, and wonder more.
So as we get started this morning, if you have an empty seat next to you, if you can please raise your hand high, and we ask if you can just scooch in a little so that we can have all the empty seats on the end of the rows. So if we have any latecomers, they can grab a seat easily instead of crawling over you. It can be kind of awkward and weird. Also, everyone is wearing a name tag, and if someone has a dot on their name tag, it means they are new. It is their first time here.
Welcome, new people.
Yes, welcome. So seek out these people and greet them, introduce yourself, give them a hug if they say it's okay, and of course, welcome to all of our returning assemblers.
Welcome to everyone. Okay, so we're going to get this assembly kicked off right now with 2 back-to-back songs, because what's better than 1 song?
I don't know, Gina, like 2 songs?
2 songs. I think they knew it. All right, so from the historic streets of Waikiki to the Sunday Assembly stage, we want to invite everybody to go ahead and stand up. We're going to sing along. We're welcoming them back for their second time to the Solace stage, Street Light Cadence.
You'll have to give us a moment as we set up. So if you want to take this moment to say hi to someone next to you, now's your chance.
So much.
Yourself, my man, you'll never be what is in your heart. Weep, little lion man, you're not as brave as you were at the start. Rate yourself and rank yourself, take all of the courage you have left. Waste it on fixing all the problems that you made in your own head. And it was not your fault but mine. And it was your heart on the line. I really messed it up this time, didn't I, my dear? Didn't I, my dear? Trouble for yourself, my man, I know that you have seen this all before. Tremble, little lion man, you'll never settle any of your scores. With graces wasted in your face, your boldness stands alone among the rain. Now learn from your mother, or else spend your days fighting your own man. And it was not your fault but mine. And it was your heart on the line. I really messed it up this time, didn't I, my dear? And it was not your fault but mine. And it was your heart on the line. I really messed it up this time, didn't I, my dear? Didn't I, my dear? but mine. And it was your heart on the line. I really messed it up this time, didn't I, my dear? Didn't I, my dear? Somebody once told me the world was gonna roll me. I ain't the sharpest tool in the shed. She was looking kinda dumb with her finger and her thumb in the shape of an L on her forehead. Well, the years start coming and they don't stop coming back to the rules and they hit the ground running. Didn't make sense not to live for fun. Brain gets smart but your head gets dumb. So much to do, so much to see. So what's wrong with taking the back streets? Never know if you don't go. No, you never shine if you don't glow. Hey now, you're an all-star, get the game on, go play. Hey now, you're a rock star, get the show on, get paid. Oh, that glitters is gold. Only shooting stars break the mold. It's a cool place, and they say it gets colder. You're bundled up now, wait till you get older. Well, the media men beg to differ, judging by the hole in the satellite picture. Ice we skate, getting pretty thin. Water's getting warm, so you might as well swim. World's on fire, how about yours? That's the way I like it, and I'll never get bored. Hey now, you're an all-star, get the game on, go play. Hey now, you're a rock star, get the show on, get paid. Oh, that glitters is gold. Only shooting stars break the mold. Could I spare some change for gas? I need to get myself away from this place. I said, yup, what a concept. I could use a little fuel myself, and we could all use a little change. Well, the years start coming and they don't stop coming back to the rules and they hit the ground running. Didn't make sense not to live for fun. Brain gets smart but your head gets dumb. So much to do, so much to see. So what's wrong with taking the back streets? Never know if you don't go. No, you never shine if you don't glow. Hey now, you're an all-star, get the game on, go play. Hey now, you're a rock star, get the show on, get paid. Oh, that glitters is gold. Only shooting stars break the mold.
Thank you, guys.
All
Wow.
right, so what did you think? That was out of this world, yes?
No street lights.
So, Streetlight Cadence will be coming back later to perform two more songs for us. And we'll also be hanging out in the back after assembly, signing and selling copies of their new CD, Beyond Paradise, which is only available on physical release.
And they're playing an original from the CD as well today.
Yes, excellent.
Super stoked.
So now it's time for our favorite part of assembly, and that is our milestones.
My favorite part.
Yes.
I liked everybody's good news.
Who doesn't love good news? So we collected these as y'all came in, and we are going to share them with you now. So first, Ian Dodd's first primetime televised work as a cinematographer will be this week's episode of Angel from Hell on CBS Thursday at 9:30.
I like that he got an angel show. That's great, in hell. Amy's mother is here for her very first assembly. So welcome Amy's mom if you see her.
Terry Smith brought a special guest today. Her name is Jing, and she's from China. She's couch surfing with Terry for a few days, and if you want to know more about couch surfing, talk to Terry. And please say hi to Jing if you get a chance.
Okay, this one, I thought this was a joke when I first heard it because it's so cool, but it isn't. Jesse Hill and Dan Winiger and their daughter Genevieve are moving to Switzerland in February. So that's pretty exciting. We're gonna have a new assembly starting there soon.
Juliana Novitsky turns 10 on Tuesday.
Those were good times. And Sean Conley's 50th birthday is today.
Happy birthday! Talia Williams turned 12 on January 3rd. Here you go, you can use mine.
Let's see. Oh, here. Yeah, we're gonna need two.
There we go.
Okay. Secular solstice queen Margot Page's birthday is tomorrow. So yay. Okay, so just to keep the love going, if you didn't get a chance to turn in a milestone, but you have something burning in your heart that you would like to share with us, we would love to hear from you. I will start. Last assembly, I announced that my son got into Bradley University, and this assembly announced he also got into Whittier College, so we have choices. Congratulations to Jonathan. Okay, anybody else? Anyone have anything? Oh, over here. Oh, this is a big one. We're so super sad. That's kind of like a double-edged sword there. We're super sad to lose Lori, but we're happy for her and her big move. Anyone else? It's hard to see, so wave hard. Oh, right here. Yay! All right. Anyone else? Last call for awesomeness. No, not really. There's going to be so much more of that coming up. Okay.
Well, actually, I'd like to share one with you, Gina.
Oh, okay, let's do it.
Okay, so
Oh, who let the dogs
somebody
out?
doesn't approve. It has been my lifelong dream to go to Australia and scuba dive at the Great Barrier Reef, and I'm doing that in April.
Pretty hell awesome. Okay.
Well, those are some awesome milestones, and now Sunday Assembly LA Kids will now convene in the kids' room across the driveway. So you can go ahead and take your kids now and meet one of our lovely caregivers in the lobby, and then rejoin us when they're all settled.
Bye, kids. We'll miss you. Okay, now it's going to get crazy in here. JK. Okay, so our item drive this month was for Safe Place for Youth. They're an organization that helps homeless teens here in Los Angeles. They have case management, they have a drop-in center, and they also do street outreach as well. So they're a really great organization. So for everyone who brought winter clothing and toiletries for them, we're collecting those in the lobby if you haven't dropped that off yet. Thank you so much for helping make a difference. We're going to get those delivered after assembly. And next month, we are collecting for the Burbank Animal Shelter for supplies for dogs and cats.
Excellent. So our theme today is Our Vast Universe. Which reminds me, Gina, what is an astronaut's favorite key on the keyboard?
I don't know, Nicole.
The space bar.
Pretty lame. I like it. I like it a lot.
So, all right, now it's time to get to know your neighbors. So let's take a few minutes, find someone you don't know. Remember, those of us with dots on our name tags are new, so easy way to find someone that you don't know. And go ahead and talk to them about the icebreaker, which we will introduce in just a second. When the time is up, there will be a shh symbol that comes up, which lets you know that it's time for us to move on. So what is our icebreaker today, Gina?
Star Wars or Star Trek?
Ah, yes. So do you speak Wookiee or do you speak Klingon? Go and discuss.
Did you? That was awesome. I was surprised there's no gunshots.
Okay, I just cut like, what, 8 inches off my life? That's great. All the pain and this has come to this.
All right. Hopefully no fights broke out today. Where's the sign? Ooh, there it is. All right, we're getting ready to go. So, all the chatter about galaxies far, far away is the perfect lead-in to today's short performance that I have been planning for a month and I am so excited about. So, please welcome to the stage one of our community members, David Beadle, who's going to sing a little song for us.
Okay. Hello. I don't think of myself as a singer, but I'm a big Monty Python fan. Anybody a Monty Python fan? All right. So, does anybody know the Galaxy song? All right. So, apparently with the Galaxy song, I checked the facts on the Galaxy song, and maybe Tracy may jump in here, but pretty much it's pretty accurate. I mean, numbers have been rounded up for the song and rounded down, but essentially it is it's relatively accurate as the science goes. So all I need now is a Mrs. Brown to perform this with. Remember the song starts off Mrs. Brown. So would Mrs. Brown please come onto the stage? Here comes Mrs. Brown. And Mrs. Brown's husband recently had an organ donation, a live organ donation. Oh, hang on, go back. Okay, I'm now waffling. Here we go. Whenever life gets you down, Mrs. Brown, and things seem hard or tough, and people are stupid, obnoxious or daft, and you feel that you've had quite enough, just remember you're standing on a planet that's evolving, revolving at 900 miles an hour. It's orbiting at 19 miles a second, so it's reckoned a sun that is the source of all our power. The sun and you and me and all the stars you can see are moving at 1,000,000 miles a day. In a spiral out around 40,000 miles an hour, in a galaxy we call the Milky Way. Our galaxy itself contains 100 billion stars. It's 100,000 light years side to side. Right by us is just 3,000 light years wide. This galaxy is playing at, oh shit, no. 100 million years, there you go. And our galaxy is one of only millions and billions in this amazing and expanding universe. Look at the picture, not us, please. You're both leading? Okay, here we go. The universe itself keeps on expanding and expanding in all of the directions it can whiz. As fast as it can go, the speed of light, 12 million miles a minute, and that's the fastest speed there is. So remember when you're feeling very small and insecure, how amazingly unlikely is your birth. And pray that there's intelligent life down there in space, 'cause there's bugger all down here on Earth. Sorry, I forgot. Apparently it bulges in the middle, 16,000 light years thick. That was the line I forgot. Thank you. And that's not me.
Makes you feel sort of insignificant.
All right, that was amazing. Thank you so much, David. And of course, Mrs. Brown, played by our very own Phil.
Okay, I think we're really set up now to move right into our guest speaker for today, who is a flight systems engineer at the Jet Propulsion Laboratory. Yes, in her 15 years at JPL, she's participated in the development and the operation of the Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter,
Which is now in orbit at Mars.
a Kepler,
A mission that searches for new exoplanets in our galaxy,
and Juno.
which is currently on its way to Jupiter, slated to arrive in July of this year.
So basically, she's our kind of Miss Universe.
Yes.
I'm going to welcome to the stage, keep the applause going for Tracy Drain.
I could not have asked for a better introduction than that. And most of the facts in there were accurate, the ones that I know about anyway. You're going to see one of them later on in this presentation. So here we go. I have an awful lot of information to share with you guys in the 15 minutes that I have. So hopefully I won't get going really, really fast, and just hope you all keep up with me until we get to the end of the slide. So if I end up talking this fast, you can't follow me, just raise your hand and ask me to slow down, and I will do that. So here we go. Flight system engineer, you heard all about me. So let's move on to the fun stuff about Kepler finding planets. Next slide. So the first thing I'm going to tell you about is how Kepler goes about looking for planets, because it is surprisingly simple. If you guys were all in a spaceship looking back in at our solar system and you were looking at the sun, if Jupiter passed in front of the sun, it would block about 1% of the light. If the Earth passed in front of the sun, it would block about 0.01% of the light because we're smaller. Now, if you were staring at a car headlight and a gnat flew by, you were trying to see that the gnat went by, that's kind of what it would be like if you were looking at your naked eye. That's hard to do, and so we need to get an instrument to measure the amount of light that's falling on its CCD, kind of like the charge-coupled device you have in your phone. Measure that, and then you can see the dip in brightness when something's in front of the star, and you want to see that go by. You need to see it go by not just twice, but 3 times at least, with the same amount of time separated between them. And then you know something's actually orbiting the star in a regular pattern, and it wasn't just a speck of dust really close to you that went by and you thought that was a planet. So you need to see things multiple times. And if you guys were outside the solar system looking into the Earth and you saw the Earth pass in front of the sun, it would take a year to go around and do it again, another year to go around and do it again. So if you looked at one star, you'd have to wait a long time and then switch stars, wait a long time, switch stars. That would take forever. So we're not doing that. What we're doing is looking at more than 100,000 stars all at once, looking for this dip of light so that we can try to find planets. Now, you can't see any planet. If a planet was circling my head this way, it would never cross my head, and so you wouldn't see it. It needs to be in this plane. Maybe it can be tilted a little bit. So of all the planets that are out there, we know that we're only going to see something like 5% of them just because of the random distribution of how the orbits are angled. So Kepler is looking for other planets outside of our solar system, still inside our Milky Way galaxy, and not just any old planets. We want to know if they're Earth-size. Are Earth-size planets common or rare? And are they in the habitable zone around their star? We'll talk about that in a second. Next slide. So what is a habitable planet anyway? Well, there's lots of different kinds of Earth form or life forms that could be out there, Klingons on Star Trek or whatever there is on Star Wars, those cool things playing instruments and whatever. There could be all sorts of stuff out there, microbial life forms, whatever. But for us, whenever we see life here on Earth, whether it's extremophiles living at hydrothermal vents in the deep ocean, whether it's extremophiles that are living buried under ice in the Arctic, the thing that they have in common is water, mostly. There are some weird things out there that may not need water, but mostly it's water. And so what we want to know about these planets are they close enough to their stars that it's warm enough that water could be liquid on the surface, but not so hot that would be vaporized like if you were at Mercury, far enough away that liquid water could be liquid and not frozen into ice. Now, there's different kinds of stars out there. You have these really hot, bright stars. You have to be farther back from those to be in the habitable zone. That's what that top one is. If you have dim red dwarf stars, you need to be closer in, just like a campfire that's died down. So range from the stars is one of the key things. The other key thing is size of the planet. If you're too small, you can't hold on to any atmosphere, and then all the radiation from your star is probably going to fry everything on the surface. If you're too big, you're going to hold on to lots and lots of hydrogen gases, those kinds of things, and you'll turn into a gas giant like Jupiter or Saturn, where there's no ground, or if there is ground down there, it's under this huge amount of atmosphere that's squishing everything. So you need to be the right size, somewhere between Earth size, half Earth size, to about 2 times the size of the Earth, roughly. So size, distance from star. Next. So here's the cool thing about Kepler. I meant to do this before I got up here, and I totally forgot about it. But who's ever heard of an app called Google Sky? Raise your hand for me. Raise it high and keep it high. Oh, good, lots of you, yes. No, keep your hand up, keep it up, keep it up. People who do not have Google Sky, look around. Find one of these people afterwards, have them help you load it onto your phone. You will love it. It is my favorite app in the entire world. Basically, when you put it onto your phone, it makes your phone act like a window onto the universe. And as you move your phone around, it's labeling constellations, it'll label where the planets are, so you can find all sorts of stuff. Kepler is looking at a single spot in the sky, about the size of the palm of your hand held up against the sky, in the Summer Triangle constellation, also Cygnus the Swan, and that's what it looks like in Google Sky. If you want to know where everything I'm about to tell you about is located, in that spot in the sky, and you can find it with Google Sky. That's a picture of the spacecraft, and then a picture of that 95 megapixel CCD array that we use to collect the light and look for planets. Next. So this is an artist's conception of our Milky Way galaxy, since we have not been able to get out there and take a picture back at us. We do not have a photo stick that's that long. So here we are in our Milky Way galaxy. We are in the Orion spur of the Sagittarius arm, and as Kepler is looking out into that single spot in the sky, it's looking along the Orion spur, and a distance, the stars that we're looking at are like spread out around 3,000 light years, so zero, not really zero, more like 100 to 3,000 light years is where these stars are located. And now, thinking about Kepler, is looking at over 100,000 stars. What I'm about to tell you about is based on 4 years of data. I want you to think about how many planets you think Kepler may have found in the data that it gathered over 4 years. I'll give you 5 seconds. Have a guess. I'm not going to make you tell me what it is. And that's it. So the next slide, we're going to work up to it a little bit. So the next one shows you what that field of view looks like against the stars. If we can advance one. There we go. And when we launched the spacecraft, we needed to make sure that there were at least one, we picked 3, transiting planets, meaning that they're angled such that they would cross between their star and our spacecraft in the field of view. Because if we didn't, and then we didn't see any, the scientists might have concluded there weren't any planets, when really maybe the instrument was broken. So we had to make sure that there were some in there that were really close to their stars, so that their orbits, their entire year, is only 2 to 5 days. So they would pop right out in the first few weeks of data, and they totally did. We saw them, it worked. We were very happy that our spacecraft was doing the thing that it should do. We knew about other exoplanets, non-transiting from other methods, but those are the 3 that were in our little patch of sky in the Summer Triangle. And then the next slide will show you, as of January 7th, 2013, this is based on almost 4 years worth of data. This looks like you took one of those containers full of sprinkles for donuts and just went right all over the field of view. And they're colored now by Earth size, super Earth size, up to 2 times the size of the Earth, Neptune size and Jupiter size, like spread all over the field of view. There's 2,740 planets in that set of data. Now, unfortunately for Kepler, it was working fine. It had some kind of dicey reaction wheels. We need 3 out of 4 to work, and the second one died in May of 2012. But the scientists have 4 years worth of data on hand, and they can keep getting fancier with the way they're analyzing the data and pulling out fainter and fainter signals from it. So the next slide, just as of January 6, 2015, this now shows you the 3,892 planets that they had pulled out of that data, arrayed by the size of the planets. And you can see Earth-sized ones, about 800, 1,200, up to 2 times the size of the Earth, 1,500 Neptune-sized ones. They're not sure why that one seems to be a little more frequent than the others. And then Jupiter-sized ones, 260, even ones that are up to 25 times the radius of Jupiter. Scientists really didn't quite think that planets could get that big. They had to kind of revise their theory of planet formation to understand that. And the next slide, actually, this is the highest total as of today, 4,696 planets that Kepler has seen in its data. Now, that's the dip in light that they have in the information that they have. They've done follow-up observations to confirm them with other telescopes on the ground of about 1,030. So based on that 5,000 number, who was within like 2 times? Yay, we've got one here, we've got one here. Did you guys just know about Kepler already? You just guessed. Yes, you were right. Psychic. No, I'm kidding. So the one cool thing about this slide is that it's starting to give you some information about the size of these planets relative to each other, and also about the orbital period. Your orbital period is how long it takes you to go around your star. It takes the Earth 365 days to go all the way around. This is a logarithmic scale, so it can be a little bit weird to look at. If you look at the 100, the one tick over is 200, the next tick over is 300, and so on. So you can see that the more data we gather, you start to see more planets that are smaller and more planets that have longer years, which makes sense because the longer year, the longer you have to wait for it to go around, so you need a good long set of data to pull these out. It was very heartbreaking when Kepler's second reaction wheel died, but at least we got the 4 years worth of data, and all this fabulousness has come out of it. Next slide. So now I'm going to go through a sampling of some of Kepler's really cool discoveries. Going back in time, the first rocky planet that Kepler discovered was Kepler 10b, and I'll describe the naming convention. It's not very imaginative, but there's some basis behind it. But Kepler 10b is the first rocky planet 20 times closer to its star than Mercury is to our sun. It is so hot that the scientists think it probably is more like a rocky comet trailing silica flecks that have been blasted off the surface by the sun. So not exactly a place we want to go and build a summer home, but it's cool to know that it's out there, right? One of the cool planets is Kepler 16, which is orbiting a binary system star, a big yellow star and a much smaller dwarf companion, with that purple planet orbiting both of us. So Star Wars, eat your heart out. That's the real Tatooine, right? And then there's Kepler 11, which was very exciting because that was a system that has 6 planets. Now we're starting to find things that look like solar systems out there, so that was very exciting. And 2 of those, Kepler B, 11b and 11e, are not that much bigger than the Earth. They're like somewhere between Earth and Neptune size. And then Kepler 20 is a star that had 5 planets. 2 of them are small rocky planets that are really in the size range of the Earth and Venus. But they're all super close into their star. You can see the habitable zone is that purple range out there. They're way, way, way close down in there. The next slide is going to tell you about some of the habitable zone planets that Kepler has found. The upper left one is the Kepler 22 system, where scientists were very excited because it was the very first planet that was kind of our size, is about twice the size of the Earth, that's in the habitable zone, snugged in close to the inner edge of its habitable zone. Over to the right is the Kepler 62 system that has 5 planets, 2 of which are in the habitable zone. Very exciting. And Kepler 62 has a type K2 star. For those of you who aren't like all soaking in weird factoids about the universe and how scientists describe things, if you've ever heard the phrase, "Oh, be a fine girl, kiss me," that is how scientists remember the size and color of stars. You're big and hot if you're O, be a fine girl, kiss me, is how we get down to the end. And these are like the red ones, right? So we're a class G2 star ourselves, so they were excited that 22 was around a type G, even though it's G5. And 62, you can see it's a smaller star. And then the bottom left is Kepler, where's my label? 186. And the scientists were the most excited about 186. You can see how close it is to the size of the Earth. It's around a smaller star, a type M cooler star. It's close enough that they thought for a while this is the closest one that we have that is like an Earth's mirror. But the sad thing is they started learning later more about that star's qualities. They think it puts out a huge amount of radiation, and with that planet being so close in, it probably is getting blasted on the surface. Boo. Kepler 452 is the one they found after that, which now they consider to be the closest Earth's cousin that we have out there. It's the same kind of star as ours, type G5. Its day is only 20 days longer than ours. The sun is only 10% brighter than ours. And so even though it is 1,400 light years away, that's the planet that we know is the most like Earth so far. Next slide. So this is all of the small habitable zone planets that Kepler knows about right now. There's about a dozen of them. You'll notice that Kepler 22 is not in this list because it is a little over twice the size of the Earth, so it did not quite make the cut. But you can see 452b there with the details I was just talking about. So from class G stars, class K, class M, there's several planets of the lower two types that are Earth-size in the habitable zone around their star. And again, all of this information is from a little patch of sky about the size of the palm of your hand up against the summer triangle. Next slide. So now, here's again your picture of the Milky Way. Based on Kepler's results, the scientists are estimating that, one click, there are at least 100 billion planets in our Milky Way galaxy. You might remember that number, 100 billion, from the song before. So on average, there is a planet for every star. That doesn't mean every star has a planet. Some have none, some have 6, as we've seen. But on average, there's a planet for every star. So at least 100 billion planets in our galaxy. Next slide, or next click. So 14 billion of those are probably Earth-sized and in the habitable zone. So think about that for a second. 2 planets for every person on Earth that is habitable and in the habitable zone. Next click. And out of those, 1 billion of those are probably orbiting a type G2 star, the same as ours. So maybe not getting blasted by a red giant spitting out lots of radiation, but around a nice, well-behaved star like ours. And the next click, in case those numbers are hard for you to really think about, if on the day you were born, somehow you could count and you counted 1, 2, 3 every second for your entire life, you would not reach 1 billion until you were 32 years old. I personally am 1.25 billion years or seconds old myself to kind of help you get a feel for just the sheer scale of the numbers we're talking about here. So when you go outside, last click, and look up into the night sky, and you see all those stars. Well, when you get away from LA and go someplace darker, look up into the night sky, and you see all those stars, you can think to yourself, it's not just stars out there. There are planets everywhere you look. Our galaxy is juicy with planets. It's dripping with planets. They're just everywhere. And that's just one measly little galaxy. There are at least 100 billion galaxies in our universe, too, and we have no reason to think that any of them are going to be any different. So I'll leave you with that this morning.
All right. Thank you, Tracy, for sharing the magic of the universe with us. Good job.
You are so inspirational, and your enthusiasm and your excitement for this, I don't know, but that infected me with your enthusiasm. Did it infect all of you with enthusiasm? Yeah. So, all this talk about planets, it kind of makes me want to put together a space party, Gina.
Space party?
Yeah, will you help me plan it?
She's pretty good. She is not represented by the comedy division of my company.
I'm here all week. So right now, I want to invite Streetlight Cadence back up to perform an original tune called Great Unknown from their new album, Beyond Paradise. And while they're coming up, I just want to add that they are currently in the lead in a contest with the new social media platform AirLive, and your votes could help keep them there.
Yeah, you can ask them all about it. They're going to be right at the back of the room after the assembly. They'll be selling their CDs, and please come say hi to these great guys. Thank you.
feel so existential right now. Just I look up, and again, the size of your palm against the sky, just hundreds of thousands of planets. That's incredible. I'm just sorry, my mind is kind of blown. All right. So this song is called The Great Unknown, and in keeping up with this wonderful theme of space and what's out there, John wrote this song after equally having his mind blown after watching Interstellar. Anyone here seen Interstellar? It's a fantastic movie. John, you want to share anything else about it?
It's got a lot of space jargon in it, so hopefully you like it. You're my runaway satellite in the night. Watch you fly by. If I could only be your shining star, then maybe you might orbit me. But I'm too small to be your gravity, and there's so much life out there. I know I could never bring you down. You are well beyond my atmosphere, so go explore the great unknown. But it's a giant leap away from me. Go explore the great unknown, and I will try to find someone in this galaxy from my runaway satellite. You were right, there's nothing left here. And if this only was another life, then I would chase you to the stars. But I cannot be your rocket man. All I've ever known is here. I know I could never bring you down. You are well beyond my atmosphere, so go explore the great unknown. But it's a giant leap away from me. Go explore the great unknown, and I will try to find someone in this galaxy. Go explore the great unknown, but it's a giant leap away from me. Go explore the great unknown, and I will try to find someone in this galaxy light years away. When you look back my way and you wish that I was there. When the stars won't align deep in space and in time, and you're lost in the last frontier. Go explore the great unknown, but it's a giant leap away from me. Go explore the great unknown, and I will try to find someone in this galaxy. Go explore the great unknown, but it's a giant leap away from me. Go explore the great unknown, and I will try to find someone in this galaxy. But it's a giant leap
So many wires. Thank you, Jonathan and Brian and Jesse and Chaz. You might have thought today was just going to be about science, but we managed to work some romance in there as well. It was beautiful. So next, I want to invite a community member up, Brian Felsen, who's going to tell us a little bit about how he is doing his best.
On a cold night in Philadelphia 21 years ago, in October, I was working late one night in the office. And when I finished work, I took the elevator downstairs and began the half-mile walk home down Chestnut Street. It was very dark, the streets were desolate, it was foggy. And at some point, about halfway home, I felt a strong blow to my back that took the wind out of me, and I felt a hotness on the back of my neck. All of a sudden, in front of me, there was a guy jumping around, triumphantly saying, I got you, give it up, give me your money. So I gave him my wallet, had $12 in it. He looked a little disappointed, but he threw the credit cards on the street and stumbled off down the street, probably to buy some crack. I'm lying in the street, in the middle of the street, and there's a paramedic bent over me, cutting my clothes off. And even though I can't really breathe, I'm kind of whispering the words and croaking them. I'm saying, why are you cutting my shirt off? I like this shirt. What's the matter with you? I can take my own shirt off, thank you very much. And he said, just calm down, you're going into shock. I'm lying on a hospital operating table, connected to a breathing machine, looking at the beautiful fluorescent lighting that they have in hospitals. And it starts to grow dimmer and dimmer and dimmer until all is black except that there's pinpricks of light. And I felt like a 10-year-old looking out at the galaxy. Except I felt really at peace. It wasn't like Monty Python's wonderful Galaxy song, which I absolutely love. It wasn't a gallows humor type of thing, like, okay, well, we don't believe in this, but it's all meaningless, so let's laugh at the whole absurdity of the thing. I felt an odd sense of comfort. It wasn't at the vastness of space and my insignificance in that. It was the expanse of time gave me an odd comfort, because I started to reflect, as I'm lying on the table, that the universe is 13.8 billion years old, or something like that, and the solar system about 4.5 billion, and maybe we've got another about that amount left. And yet, during all that time, I'm not afraid of any of it. I'm not afraid of the year 1788 when Mozart was writing his last 3 symphonies. So why should I be afraid of the year 2188 after Brian Felsen has left the scene when the next great composer writes his or her great symphonies? And then in front of me, I saw this vision. I saw my Savior. It sounds crazy, but it was a beatific image. It was all in white, radiant, glowing, charismatic, about 30-something. And as he came closer, I read the name tag. It said, Dr. Michelson. And the doctor said, your lung's been punctured, but you're going to be okay. And again, oddly, instead of feeling relief at this, I felt an outpouring of love and gratitude, because we were both here together, connected the same night, except he was here by choice. He was here in the middle of the night, sacrificing his sleep in order, in the words of the song Amazing Grace, to save a wretch like me. He had sacrificed so many years learning organic chemistry, learning anatomy, learning pathology, and taking these damned exams to become certified to be able to save me. And I not only was thankful for that, but I was thankful for all the best and brightest in the history of our species that gave rise to the scientific method that brought us the tools and technology that saved my life. It took months for my wounds to heal. And ever since then, I've been inspired to write symphonies of my own and to help other artists, musicians, composers, filmmakers, writers, distribute their works and get their voices out. And now, 21 years later, I go to Sunday Assembly and I talk to people about atheism, about spirituality, about the divine. And some people have a very strong intellectual conviction that there's no sense in believing in a God, that a being that created everybody and somebody that you should worship. And I also hear a lot of anger toward organized religion and the excesses of it. But for me, oddly, my atheism is a deeply held emotional and even spiritual feeling. I remember back to when I was in college before I got stabbed, and I would talk with my friends, and some of them would say, yeah, well, when you're on your deathbed, you'll see. You'll want that comfort. You're going to want that feeling of salvation and reassurance, and you'll convert. And I didn't. I held my ground, but I didn't hold my ground out of intellectual stubbornness. I held my ground because it gave me comfort to feel that there didn't have to be an asymmetry in how I regarded existence before my birth versus how I view time after I leave the scene. And it gives me comfort and joy to feel gratitude, not to some Bronze Age mythology or some metaphorical being who embodies the goodness of us all, but in the actual goodness of all that we can do and that humans have done. A few years ago, I talked to my friend, the philosopher Daniel Dennett, after he had his heart surgery, and I asked him how he felt after he went through it. And he said, I don't thank a God, I thank goodness. May we strive to do our best and live our highest selves and find the goodness within us all.
Okay, now I'm going to sing a song for you. Just kidding. That gave us a lot to reflect on. It was really beautiful, and that is just in time for our quiet reflections. So we're going to have just a little bit of music. So take this time if you would like to. Close your eyes. You can reflect on what we've talked about today. You can think about nothing at all, and we'll just take a few minutes here. Thank you.
So from reflection to collection, it's time to pass the hat. Sala is entirely donor supported, and we'd like to thank you all for your generosity in making it possible for us to pay for the venue, the equipment, the kids program, the coffee, the donuts, and all the things we need so we can put on an assembly together each month.
Oh my gosh, Mrs. Brown is passing the box around. So we particularly also want to thank our repeat donors. If you see people with these green name tags, I know they're pretty awesome. Those are people who have sustaining memberships, which you can sign up for on our website, which is sundayassemblyla.org, and you can get an awesome green name tag too.
So volunteers with boxes are circulating now, and if you have a credit card donation, that's totally cool. Just raise your hand, and someone with a square reader will come to you.
So every month, after our assembly, the week after our assembly on Sunday, we hold a Sunday social, which we would really love to get you all to join us for. Is it up? Here it is. So this next Sunday, we're going to be visiting the Museum of Tolerance. That's January 17th. The event is at 11 in the morning. You can sign up for this on our website. The museum is dedicated to challenging visitors to understand the Holocaust, but also to confront forms of prejudice and discrimination in the world as a whole. So again, it's on our website, it's in your program. We would really love to see you there. Bring your kids.
And also, while you're on the website, please check out our other Live Better and Help Often events, including game nights, discussion groups, comedy nights. I won't be there. I will not be performing.
But you should be. You can host.
Yeah, okay, that's great. Opportunities to serve the homeless in our community, tutor kids, and much more. And you can also find out more about these events at our community table, which will be in the lobby at the back of the room.
Yep, they can answer all your questions. Also, check us out on social media. I believe we have information at the community table about that, and we have a private Facebook page, but anyone who's here can be a part of it. So if you would like to join our private Facebook page and keep up with what's going on between assemblies, you can do that. Okay, I have an exciting announcement. So as you know, we were doing a grant match and a fundraising appeal. We had a lot of last-minute donations before the midnight deadline, and we were able to raise over $15,000.
Wow, that's amazing.
That $15,000 included giving out 10 of these green name tags, so we got some sustaining memberships, which is great, and it means that we were able to claim an additional $15,947 in grant money. We will soon be the first assembly in the United States to have a staff person, so that's very exciting news, and it's what we need to do to get on our way to have sustainable nonprofit. So congratulations to all of you. Thank you for being a part of our community. Thank you for your generosity. We really appreciate it.
It's incredible.
Okay, so we're going to start wrapping it up here, and I wanted to share a little bit of something with all of y'all. If you don't know this, I grew up in Amarillo, Texas, and I grew up really close to Palo Duro Canyon, which is where we went hiking and playing, and we saw the show Texas, because of course Texas has a show about Texas, every summer on Palo Duro Canyon. And I always grew up thinking that Palo Duro Canyon and the Grand Canyon were, pretty much the same thing. So in September, I took my family to the Grand Canyon, and guess what? They're not the same thing. It's a lot bigger. We had a real adventurous time. We flew over the canyon in a helicopter. We did river rafting through the canyon. And then we did the most adventurous thing. We took mules and rode all the way down. So that was a grueling day. If you've never spent 8 hours on a mule, I recommend those bicycle padded pants. It's pretty rough. It's really hot. We get to the bottom. We spent the night at Phantom Ranch at the very bottom, and I think they said that 1% of people who visit the Grand Canyon ever go more than a half mile down. So it was really, really cool to get that opportunity. So that night, my son and I went out, and we heard a ranger talk, and we kind of went walking around and exploring, and at one point, we turn off the flashlights, and we look up, and this is like darkness, like you can't even see your hands in front of your face. And the stars were amazing. I mean, certainly more, as Tracy said, than the 5 stars I can see from my backyard in Los Angeles. And I was thinking, like, the whole ride down, and I had a lot of time to think on that ride down, how small we were compared to this canyon, and then here we are looking at the stars and thinking, how small is this canyon compared to It was great. It was a great trip. If you haven't done it, I recommend it.
That's great, Gina. I've been to the Grand Canyon, but I've never gone all the way. So you are awesome for being able to have that.
99%.
Yes, having that opportunity. Well, I grew up in a very small town, and we did not have a lot of STEM resources, but we did have the Young Astronauts program in my elementary school, and I remember how excited I was at the end of class to be able to, stay after and learn about the universe and the space program and astronauts, and I would run outside at night, and I would look up at the stars and try to identify constellations that we had learned about, and back then Pluto was still a planet, and
Good times.
Yes. And the Big Dipper was always my favorite constellation because it was always the easiest for me to spot. So even now when I go out and I look up at the stars, I think of all these questions like, are these stars that we're seeing, are they still there, or did they burn out millions of years ago and we're just now seeing the light? And how many planets are really out there? And what I find inspiring about that is that the universe is huge, and we're never going to learn everything there is to know, and yet it's so awesome to sit there and think about it, and there's no limit to how much we can learn about our universe.
We're wondering a lot, y'all. There's a lot of wondering today.
Yeah.
Good wonder more. Okay.
All right, so a few closing announcements. We are going to rock out with just one final song from Streetlight Cadence, but just a few final announcements before we bring them on stage. Our next assembly is Sunday, February 14th, and our guest speaker will be Paul Svensson, who will be discussing the lessons of the Cold War and how those lessons still apply today in a speech called "The Russians Are Gonna Get Me."
Please come be our Valentine's Day, our Valentine on Valentine's Day for that assembly. You can RSVP on sundayassemblyla.org, and you can also share it on social media and bring your friends or your Valentine's Day. Your Valentine. See, I don't know what a Valentine is. So please stick around afterwards. We're going to have coffee and cake and potentially conversation as well in the back of the room. You can also meet Streetlight Cadence. At 1:30 approximately, we'll all walk across the street, all of us. No, just most of us, a lot of us, for the Oyster. We're going to have lunch over there, so everyone is welcome. Absolutely. Please come join us for that. And at this time, I want to say a really big thank you to our amazing speaker, Tracy Drain. Let's give a hand for Tracy. To David Beadle, who brought us that fantastic song. So yay for David. To Phil Jackson, who donned his curlers for us today. Brian Felsen for sharing his beautiful story. This lady right here, Nicole Snell, for helping me up here today. So good, thank you. Thank you to our video and audio team. We are once again streaming all over the world, which is super fun and not all intimidating. Thank you to all our volunteers, and of course, thank you to these amazing guys from Streetlight Cadence sharing the music with us today. We're going to invite them back up to the stage now to sing us a final song, appropriately, Counting Stars. Here they are. Oh, Amy, we need to stand up and sing along. Thank you for reminding me. Let's all stand up.
As you stand and as we get settled again, quick reminder, we have free stickers in a case right over there. So if at any point you would like to grab a free sticker after the show, please do. 3 albums, even t-shirts. And if you'd like to help us win this massive contest, it will pay our rent for the next 3 years. So please and thank you. There are purple business cards which tell you exactly what to do, and we'll tell you more about it after the show. And you know this song, hopefully.
Lately I've been losing sleep, dreaming about the things that we could be. Baby, I've been praying hard. Said no more counting dollars, we'll be counting stars. I see this light like swinging vines, swing my heart across the line. In my face is flashing signs. Get out of here, you shall find old, but I'm not that old, young, but I'm not that bold, and I don't think the world is sold, just doing what we're told. I feel something so right, doing the wrong things. I feel something so wrong, doing the right things. Everything that kills me makes me feel alive. Lately I've been losing sleep, dreaming about the things that we could be. Baby, I've been praying hard. Said no more counting dollars, we'll be counting stars. I feel this love and I feel it burn down that road. Every turn, hope is a four-letter word. Take that money, watch it burn. Old, but I'm not that old. Young, but I'm not that bold. And I don't think the world is sold, just doing what we're told. I feel something so right, doing the wrong things. Couldn't lie, couldn't lie, couldn't lie. Everything that drowns me makes me wanna fly. Lately I've been losing sleep, dreaming about the things that we could be. Baby, I've been praying hard. Said no more counting dollars, we'll be counting stars. Lately I've been losing sleep, dreaming about the things that we could be. Baby, I've been praying hard. Said no more counting dollars, we'll be counting stars. Everybody clap with me. Take that money, watch it burn, sink and learn the lessons I learned. Take that money, watch it burn, sink and learn the lessons I learned. Take that money, watch it burn, sink and learn the lessons I learned. Take that money, watch it burn, sink and learn the lessons I learned. Couldn't lie, couldn't lie, couldn't lie. Everything that kills me makes me feel alive. Lately I've been losing sleep, dreaming about the things that we could be. Baby, I've been praying hard. Said no more counting dollars, we'll be counting stars. Lately I've been losing sleep, dreaming about the things that we could be. Baby, I've been praying hard. Said no more counting dollars, we'll be counting stars. Take that money, watch it burn, sing and learn the lessons I learned. Take that money, watch it burn, sing and learn the lessons I learned. Take that money, watch it burn, sing and learn the lessons I learned. Take that money, watch it burn, sing and learn the lessons I learned. Thank you guys, have a great day.
All right. Until next time, live better.
Help often.
Wonder more. Last note, we have a lost and found going at the sign-in table. There is apparently a water bottle and a journal. So if you lost something, please check in with Amy. Thank you.